Good morning. Would like to welcome back Jenny Gallo of Carrot Top Studio. Diakonos Solutions has a Women in Series ministry, and Jenny has been very gracious with her time, sharing her thoughts and her studio with us. And so this is the final installment of our talk together. Jenny had one last place that she wanted to show us that was very important in her studio and part of her design process. So welcome, Jenny.
Great to be here again, Susan. I hope everyone's been able to find something worthy in the first two segments that we filmed. We're now sitting in my painting space. COVID came to be, churches became something a little bit different than what they had been. I didn't have many sales. There weren't needs for new stalls at that time. And so I picked up my paintbrush again, and this is where I sit to paint. On the other side of the computer, across from my painting table, is where I email you from. So this is my desk also on the other side. And so if I've emailed you, this is what it looks like. Yeah.
So one of the things, so Jenny and I have a common friend, and that's how we met. A friend of our friend in common said, I think you two need to meet. And that's how we started emailing, and that's how this interview came about. But one of the things that I discovered about you is that you created the I'm part of the Presbyterian Church USA.
Me too.
Jenny is also. She created the stoles for the new co-moderators of the PCUSA Church. But what I discovered is this wasn't the first time she's done this. So can you tell us about that? Can you tell the story of how you came to create? I mean, it's not only how did what's your design process there, but this isn't a one-off. You've done this several times. Like, how did all that happen?
Oh, this is a good story. And as you said, our friend that connected us, networking is just a wonderful gift. And the story of the co-moderator stoles falls into that category also. While living in Pittsburgh, the PCUSA General Assembly was due to be in Pittsburgh. I had a good friend who was a pastor, go figure, in Pittsburgh, and he threw my name into the hat. And that's all I know about how that came to be. I don't know the history of the people that did the clergy stoles for the moderators prior to that. But I was asked to design the stoles, and it went well. So I have done that commission 6 times now, which is just, I really, my church history is important to me, and it is just a wonderful thing that I've connected with my own church community in this way. And it's a great collaboration because the stoles that the moderators then wear as they reach out to the community for the next 2 years, they reflect the host city of the General Assembly and whatever the theme for General Assembly is in that particular year. So that first stole wasn't from the host city was Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's known for its trolleys. They're inclines that go up and down the mountain. So the stole had a trolley on it. And, that's a little bit unique, and it's a fun collaboration. The collaborative process is really exciting and energizing to me. And that's one of the things I'm just really thrilled that you and I and Diakonos Solutions and Carrot Top Studio are going to be collaborating on stoles for women that are new in ministry.
Yeah. So how this came about, besides the emailing back and forth, is in January, Diakonos Solutions launched Stories Behind the Stoles. Because it came to my attention that women who are newly ordained, it's expensive. It's expensive to develop a stole collection. And so when you're just getting ordained, you don't have, you don't necessarily have all the seasons. So Stories Behind the Stoles with Diakonos Solutions was taking gently used stoles from pastors who had retired or just decided that they were going to, that stole was ready to go to a new home.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with women who are newly ordained. And for us, we're considering first 5 years of ministry as newly ordained.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll ask, we'll match a stole with a woman. And we send that off. But that, you could tell in our previous segments, Jenny has a very strong educational background, and her artistry really does reflect the educational nature of what she does. And so we talked about, is there a way to work with women who might want some new stoles from Jenny's collection? And so we've gone back and forth, like the design process. And so Diakonos Solutions and Carrot Top Studio are going to collaborate with women who would like some new stoles from Jenny. And the process, it's 4 stoles for $600. There will be a tab on Carrot Top Studio website for a form to fill out, and then your name goes on that tab. So we met Stella, the mannequin, in the last segment. So if she were a newly ordained woman, you would have the Stella button. The beauty of this is sometimes people, again, stoles are an investment. And so not everyone can afford the full cost of a stole, but maybe, Aunt Sarah can contribute $25 or $50. And so they can make donations. People can make donations on your button. And when you reach $600, Jenny says, pick your 4 stoles. Right. There's I think only one exclusion, and that's that Jenny is developing some new stoles that are at a higher price point than her usual line, and those will be excluded. But other than that, it's what stoles do you want? What 4 stoles?
Whatever works best for their particular ministry, because everybody's ministry is different.
And the beauty of that is for every $600, the stoles, every person who does that, Carrot Top Studio is going to donate $50 to Diakonos Solutions for their scholarship fund. So this is the second year Diakonos Solutions has offered scholarships for women pursuing doctorate of ministry degrees. That was something else, a gap that I found. A lot of women did not have the access to financial resources as they were pursuing their degree. So this is the second year that we will be offering 3 $500 scholarships to women pursuing what we call the acronym DMIN, pursuing their DMINs. In fact, we just closed the application process, and our advisory board is meeting next week to choose recipients. So we try to time that with the beginning of the school year so that people's budgets are positively impacted. So that's one of those, it's a unique collaboration. We haven't, neither one of us has done anything like this before. So we're hoping that if you know someone, and I think the other really interesting thing about this is that if you've got a pastor, October is Pastor Appreciation Month, that this is something that maybe a congregation could get behind, or if you've got a newly called pastor and maybe they want to spruce up their stole wardrobe, it's perfect for someone just entering the ordained ministry, but it's also a really thoughtful way to honor pastors who have an existing ministry, and they just haven't thought about, ministries, especially in post-COVID, it's, like you don't think about, I really should spruce up my stole wardrobe. I mean, I do, but I'm kind of a stole junkie. I try to get a new stole every year. It's, anyway, but that's me. I know I'm probably unique, but I agree with you how important visually the stoles are, because I have gone to exclusively handmade stoles. So they're all unique, and people comment on them every Sunday I'm in service. People comment on the stoles.
Yeah, they tell the story, but they're also a great conversation starter. Yeah, that's great. And I'm just would like to point out that on both of our websites is the form. If you are a clergy member that is listening today, or if you know somebody and want to encourage them to fill out the form to be considered as one of the people that will be a recipient of this kind of contribution, the collaboration between our two businesses. Yeah.
So I think to close out, Jenny, do you have any advice for women starting their stole collection?
How much time do you have?
As much time as you would like.
No, I'll just, I got a couple brief thoughts. Collect stoles that are meaningful to you, to your ministry, that tell the story of what you're hoping to connect to. Pay attention to how it fits around the back of the neck, across the chest, and the length. Those are all important components. If you wear a robe, consider how long you want the stole to be on top of that robe. If you have to go up and down steps to get up to the chancel, think about how long it is. I cringe at those two long stoles, and will that pastor trip as they're going up the steps? And change your stoles up, especially during ordinary time. It's a long season. Those visual learners, it doesn't make a connection anymore if you wear it too many times or year after year. Had a pastor friend many years ago that he never replaced his stoles after ordination. And, you know, that's fine. It was still a symbol of his ministry and that he was clergy, yet the visual connection is lost, and it's just another tool in the toolbox for clergy. So yeah, go for it.
Oh, wow. That is great advice. And one that I had, all of your points I learned, it was a learning curve. It was not, you know, it's through 15 years in ministry, not anything. So that is, I can already see that we're going to be pulling those nuggets out to highlight them.
Great.
So is there anything else that you want to share with the viewers today?
I'm just so grateful that, for this collaboration, and excited for the new young female pastors that may be receiving new stoles. And just I encourage people to fill out the forms, look for the button on the Carrot Top Studio website, and it'll be fun to report back as to how we're doing.
It actually will be. I'm looking forward to that. I didn't even think about that. You know, like so often we think about getting it to the starting gate. We never think about crossing the finish line. So
yeah, we got to tell some success stories somewhere down the line.
All right. Well, we'll have to come back. Maybe we invite stole recipients on with their stoles.
That would be so cool to hear how they're using them and how they've impacted their ministry. Thanks, Susan.
I think we have some ideas that we're going to have to execute.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you so much. You have been so gracious with your time and sharing your creative process and your space. It's really unique and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see another solopreneur in ministry and how they do things. So very grateful. Thank you for joining us this morning. And thank you, viewers, for joining us for these 3 segments.
Thanks, Susan, and best regards to your encouragement that you give to the ministers in your community.
Thank you. As you say, bye for now.
Bye for now.